Oh my God, it's Jo Anne Worley. Cult Radio, you're on the air.
Hello, Cult Radio on the air. This is Jo Anne Worley. We're calling you at 7 o'clock, my time.
Hi, Jo Anne.
And your time.
Hi, Jo Anne. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Let me do the official introductions. Ladies and gentlemen, she's classy, sassy, and undeniably brassy, and she put the laugh in Laugh-In when many of us tuned in to watch her zany antics on the late 1960s TV series Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. From television to the silver screen to now on Cult Radio, we are so excited to welcome Miss Jo Anne Worley to the show. You're on the air with Terry and Tiffany. Welcome.
Hi, guys. Hi, Terry.
Now, that's a Jo
I'm
Anne.
assuming that I've been talking to Tiffany.
Yes, I'm Tiffany.
Okay, all right. How are you, Terry?
I'm fine, and I'm telling you, there's somebody here that's really excited to have you on, and that's the Cult Radio Chicken.
Do you really have one?
We do. We have a Cult Radio Chicken.
Oh, what's it look like?
It looks like a chicken.
Well, I just got the most fabulous present for St. Patrick's Day from my friend Mary Willard. She gave me a rubber chicken purse.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice, I guess nice. Very nice. You don't see those every day.
Let me guess. I would imagine that with being on the show and your whole tagline, everybody had taglines in that show. One of your taglines was, of course, is that a chicken joke. I can imagine you got sent thousands of chickens, rubber chickens from fans.
Not only rubber chickens, a lot of chicken bones.
Ooh.
Chicken legs, feathers, and a lot of chicken jokes.
Really?
A lot of chicken jokes.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, I put out a chicken joke book.
Really?
Yeah. And how it came about, there was a chicken rant, we called it, on Laugh-In, where I stood up for chickens, saying, I'm sick and tired of people making jokes about chicken. Why does a chicken cross the road? I don't think that's funny. Chickens don't think that's funny. Why does everybody laugh? And I'm sick and tired of it. And I just want to stand up for chickens and say, I love chickens, especially the legs. And in the script, there happened to be a reference to a chicken. And at the table read, I just ad-libbed, is that another chicken joke? And everybody laughed, and then all the wonderful writers started writing them into the script.
Wow. You know, the way the show came off it was very professional, of course, but it almost looked like rather than making a show, you guys were having a party. I would imagine that a lot of it was ad-lib, right?
No, we had fabulous writers, and they were brilliant. But we were encouraged to contribute. If we had an idea, say we were in a kitchen set, and how about if we do this thing where I put my hand on the frying pan and it comes off the stove attached, and they say, okay, let's shoot that. That would happen, and that's a very exciting atmosphere to work in. But it was definitely a well-scripted show, a big fat script. But on one page it might just have one word that said help. But it was definitely scripted and beautifully directed. And everybody on the show was, if we thought of something funny to do, we would stop so they could make the cut at the punchline that was written. But if we had another one, we could give it a beat and then do that. So it was very exciting. But no, it was not ad-lib. It was totally scripted.
Well, we have here in the studio what you might call one of your blooper reels, and there's some great moments with George Schlatter, and he had to be just like a madman on the set. He had to be so much fun to work with. He's a genius.
Well, where did you get this blooper reel?
Do you have one? I'll send it to you.
Oh, we know what I'm asking you where you got yours.
I have my sources.
I see. Yeah. Well, like most shows, we would do for our wrap party, at the end of the season, the people, the editors, and they would sit down and they would put together a lot of the outtakes. But what happened on Laugh-In is, as a matter of fact, Laugh-In was the first time that they did outtakes within the body of the show. It was a sketch where Ruth, Buzzy, and I were trying to get through it, and we just kept breaking up. If one of us got pulled together, the other one's shoulders would start to go. So that, and there were about 6 or 7 tries for that, and it was in the show, and it was, breaking up is infectious. That kind of laughter is infectious, and there's no way to not laugh when you're looking at it. So, and there were on the blooper reel, mainly they were people, I would have a slip of the tongue and maybe something that shouldn't go out over the airwaves was expressed. Am I right about that, sir?
Well, yeah, and then there was a whole running joke. There was a whole running joke through there about let George do it because everybody was messing up and George was doing everything.
I don't know that I've seen that one. Where did you get yours?
I have my sources.
I know. Never mind.
See, the chickens have a union, and they won't allow me to give my sources out. But if you haven't seen that, I'd be glad to send it to you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes, very good. So, and then the other question is, of course, I imagine this is like a crazy question. Was it really filmed in beautiful downtown Burbank?
Yes, at beautiful NBC in beautiful downtown Burbank. Matter of fact, the Chamber of Commerce of Burbank is celebrating its 100th birthday this Saturday.
Wow.
And Billy Barnes, who wrote all the special musical material on Laugh-In, wrote a song called Beautiful Downtown Burbank. It was sung by Connie Stevens and Judy Carn. So I have learned that song, and I'm going to be doing it this Saturday.
Fantastic.
Yeah. By the way, I know the other thing that you want to talk to me about is the Betty White event for actors and others for animals.
Absolutely, because we are such big Betty White fans, and she is in such a great show. In fact,
Hot in Cleveland. As a matter of fact, her co-stars are going to be there. It's April the 9th at the Universal Hilton. A luncheon. Valerie Bertinelli, Jane Lees, and Wendy Medlick are going to be there, along with several other of her friends, and it's kind of a very nice toast roast. And Jennifer Love Hewitt, who just did a movie with Betty, is going to be there. Jamie Lee Curtis, who just did a movie with Betty, is going to be there. Susan Lucci is going to be there. Ken Howard, Peter Marshall, his mother and Betty's mothers were great friends. The fabulous Fred Willard, and of course Georgia Engel. And everybody is going to be able to express how they feel about Betty White at this event to raise money for actors and others for animals. And as you know, Betty is a wonderful animal lover and activist.
Absolutely. In fact, we were going to have Tippi Hedren on tonight, and she's also a big animal lover.
Absolutely. I believe Tippi is going to be there also.
Yeah, fantastic.
At our event on April the 9th at the Universal Hilton. And if you go to actors and others, spell out the .com, that's our website. And if you want to purchase tickets, you can do it at the website.
Perfect. Now, I also wanted to ask you, Jo Anne, about something that our listeners may not be aware of, but it sounds absolutely fabulous, and that is the California Artists Radio Theater.
Yes. Tomorrow we are doing a performance of a play called Clarence at the Beverly Garland Hotel in Studio City. And it's a wonderful, it was Booth Tarkington wrote it years ago. Clarence was played by, let me think who, but in this one, Marvin Kaplan is playing Clarence. Samantha Agar is in it. And, let's see, Janet Waldo, who you know has done many, many voices.
Of course.
And I believe she was the original Corliss Archer. Is playing, again, another little girl in this. And let's see, have I left anyone out? Of course, Peggy Weber, our leader of CART, California Artists Radio Theater. She was with the original Orson Welles Mercury Theater. And she started in radio. So she is perpetuating radio, and there's a fabulous sound effects man who opens the doors and rattles the dishes and makes the footsteps and things like that. So it's great fun for the audience to watch a radio show being done.
This is fantastic because part of our programming every day, 7 days a week, we play all the original old-time radio shows.
Oh, do you play Corliss Archer? that one that you use?
I believe somewhere in the database, I think we have that one too. But this is fantastic. There's people like yourself. Of course, they're doing some episodes of like the Twilight Zone too, I guess, that's still doing old-time radio style.
Oh, yes. And what Peggy Weber does is she finds wonderful scripts, and she edits them down for radio, makes them specifically for radio.
Wow.
So we get to do all kinds of wonderful things. And it's just, well, the event, if people are interested in attending tomorrow, it starts at 1:30 at the Beverly Garland. And I think you can probably go to the CART website. I think tickets are only like about $15 or something.
Fantastic. Now I want to go.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I definitely want to go to that. Wow, that sounds great.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic.
Close your eyes and you're in radio land.
And you know, the thing is, it's really cool because with radio, it's like imagination of the mind and you know, just what you picture in your head, but also seeing it in person is kind of fun. I guess even Edgar Bergen, when he used to do radio, used to have the dummy there, even though you didn't have to because nobody saw him except the audience. But
well, of course. And we had a rehearsal today for the show, and a couple of times you say, well, we're doing this for the radio audience, but there are people in the theater also who are seeing the machinations that go on when you're trying to do, tricky things like, let's see, for instance, what's one of, when you have to pretend like you're walking into a room,
right,
and you have to start your voice, your head turned, and then you slowly, turn it so that you're on mic as though you were walking, while the sound effects man is pretending like he's your feet, and he's on a board going click, 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 click,
right,
click, click. Yeah, it's fun. It's really, we have a great time doing it.
Well, let me ask you, because, I mean, of course, everybody, remembers you from Laugh-In and stuff, but even before Laugh-In, you did theater, and you did theater afterwards. How hard is it, or maybe it actually helps, to lend yourself to something like doing, old-time radio-style reenactments, which is more focused on the voice acting versus the physical acting?
Yeah, good question. I also do voices. I was the voice of the wardrobe in Beauty and the Beast. And as a matter of fact, they're putting up a new, feature, I guess we'll call it, at Disney World in Florida, where it's going to be Belle's Castle. And they made a big mock-up of the wardrobe, and I went and I did my voice as the wardrobe for this activity that's going to be at the Disney. I love Disney. I mean, because my grandson can now enjoy that, forever, the work that you do, and that's all voice work, and that's good. And I'm still doing theater. This summer I'm going to be doing Full Monty in Kansas City, and then in New Jersey I'm going to be doing the female version of The Odd Couple.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with Cindy Williams. So we're going to have a good time doing that this summer. And I just did a Bones, the television show Bones?
Yes,
right.
Yes.
I play an animal psychic. I had a good time doing that.
Perfect.
It was wonderful fun.
Now, you had mentioned doing the Full Monty. I take it it's like the movie. And the thing that I'm wanting to ask you about is you kind of have a reputation as a man chaser.
Well, I think this falls right into line. You saw the Full Monty, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
Now, Jo Anne, we actually have a chat room that's going on during our show where fans can come in and ask questions and submit questions to have you answer. And one of the questions that was submitted is, before you did Laugh-In, you actually appeared in an off-Broadway show called The Mad Show, which was a musical review based on Mad Magazine.
Absolutely correct.
Can you tell us what that was like? How did you get involved with doing that? And was that kind of like your first stray into doing, cheeky type humor?
I've always done cheeky type humor. Always. The Mad Show, as a matter of fact, if you could imagine Laugh-In on stage, that's the Mad Show.
Right.
It would be short, quick sketches, songs, not as short and as quick as they were on Laugh-In, but similar. And there would be balloons that they would project different sayings, like Colonel Saunders loves breasts, things like that. Or there would be like a picture of Alfred E. Newman, right? Just his nose looking over the edge of the thing, and we had cartoon cutout figures that would do it. It was a crazy show, and the director said to us, I think there were maybe 7 or 9 of us in the show, I don't remember. Anyway, he said, I want you all to do your version of an opening number. Now, and go. And so we all did it, and then he said, okay, that's what we're going to do for our opening number.
Wow.
So it was crazy. And the writers were, of course, writers from Mad Magazine.
Right.
And it was really a wonderful... Mary Rogers, Richard Rogers' daughter, wrote the music. And as a matter of fact, Stephen Sondheim did one of the songs under a nom de plume. He used another name because he was a good friend of Mary Rogers. Mm-hmm. And it just is a wonderful... Talk about a cult favorite. I know it's a cult favorite of a lot of people.
Well, we had on Dick DiBartolo from Mad Magazine. I don't know if he was... Oh, okay, good. He was involved. Yes. Yeah, he's a nutty man. He's a nutty man.
Love him.
We love him.
Uncle Dick.
And of course, you've got to love him, or he could hurt you.
Yeah.
You know, you're bringing back all these memories in my mind. Was there not a Laugh-In magazine?
Yes, there absolutely was, and the Laugh-In magazine, as a matter of fact, was Gary Owen's idea. And my sister saved every single one, so I have all of them. And on the cover of each of them would be one of us from the show, and then articles inside and fresh jokes. People would submit jokes and win prizes to Laugh-In magazine.
Wow. There was so much merchandising with that show. Do you have a lot of that stuff, or you go on eBay and try to buy it, or?
No. No. I do have quite a bit of it. But the thing that I still sign trash cans sometimes and lunch boxes, and I do have packed away some. There was a sleeping bag that was like the Laugh-In wall,
right.
And so I have some of the things, and I of course have my fickle finger of fate, which was is a treasure. And and I just talked to Ruth Buzzy today.
Really?
So,
how's she doing?
She lives in Fort Worth now. She's, strangely enough, she's got a chicken farm. That's right.
Fantastic.
My friend has a chicken farm, but they're chickens just for their eggs. They are not to be eaten. They're actually pets. Wow. And they're for their eggs.
Well, I would assume with her being your friend, she would greatly respect those chickens, you know? I mean...
no, she's also a great animal lover. As a matter of fact, when Actors and Others for Animals first was formed, actually it was 40 years ago, and that is what we're celebrating on April the 9th by saluting Betty White, is also the 40th anniversary of Actors and Others for Animals. And Ruthie and I were there at one of the first meetings, because we both remember sitting on the floor of someone's house. I think it could have been Doris Day's house, and all saying, now how can we raise, some money to help the animals? And that's how it got down to be one big fundraiser a year, and all the actors would turn out and support it. And we used to have a big fair on Warner Brothers' back lot where people would sign autographs and have their pictures taken for a price. And then we did fashion shows for several years, and now we're doing these roast/actually toast. They're not mean-spirited roasts at all. They're funny because the people who are on the dais are usually funny people,
right? And
they're entertaining, and that's our number one thing we want to do, is to entertain people who come to this event.
Well, I know a lot
Go ahead.
I know Betty White is a big supporter of the Los Angeles Zoo, and there's another group of people out there that doesn't think animals should be in zoos, but if they're not in zoos, how will we ever see the animals? How do you feel about that and your organization?
Well, our organization, our main thrust, as you know, it takes a village. It takes it takes a lot of animal organizations to get work done. Our main thrust, Actors and Others for Animals, is spay and neuter. Mm-hmm. We feel that if there were responsible pet owners who took it upon themselves to take care that their animals were spayed or neutered, they'd have a better pet, and then there wouldn't be all these unwanted pets who would have to be killed. Right. And there are not enough homes for all the pets that are out there. Obviously, there was just an article in the paper today about puppy mills and trying to, they just passed something to try and clean up puppy mills. So people, I always encourage people, instead of going to a pet shop and getting a pet that you really don't know where it came from, please go to a shelter and save an animal. And that you are doing something good, and you get a fabulous, grateful pet each time. So I know Betty White is on our board and has been for many years. And actually, before Betty was on the board, Alan Ludden, her husband, was on the board. Of course, this was 40 years ago, so that's, as I said, that's why she is the perfect person to be honoring for our 40th anniversary.
Absolutely.
And we're also going to be giving out the first annual Betty White Award, and it's going to Betty White. Isn't that a good choice?
That's a great choice.
Yeah, I mean, there were other people were submitted, but we all agreed Betty White was the definitive one to get this award.
You wouldn't want to say, well, this is the first annual Betty White Award and we're giving it to Carol Channing. It just wouldn't make as much sense.
No, but I would get a good laugh. I like that. Wait a minute, you're onto something.
Well, I'm glad she's working with Valerie Bertinelli. I haven't had a chance to meet the lovely lady. I did meet her ex-husband, Eddie Van Halen, and I went up to him and told him he messed up.
Oh, and are you right or what? Is she adorable?
Oh, my
and
God.
Beautiful?
Man.
I know. And funny? Yeah. He blew it, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
he sure did.
There it goes. Also on our dais is going to be Bob Stewart, who is a game show producer and writer. He did, I know him from all the pyramid shows, which he started. But he actually started Password.
Yes.
And I think it was Goodson and Todson bought it from him. And so he and Betty White are lifelong close friends. So he has a few choice things to say about Betty White.
Now, what was it like doing, because I know that you did a lot of the game shows. We had Rip Taylor on last week, and he was telling us about some of his experiences with some of the game shows that he was on. What was it like for you doing things like Password and stuff like that?
I love doing the game shows. I love it. I love playing games. And even more than that, I like giving people money. So I like to get a laugh, but I would not do it at the expense of a person winning.
Right.
And I took it very seriously, and now when sometimes people come up to me and say, oh, I want to thank you because you helped get my husband through college, and now he's a successful lawyer because he won, so much money on the pyramid. Or we won at Match Game or whatever. So that's wonderful, and I enjoyed playing, and they were great fun. We would always do 5 in a day. I'm sure Rip mentioned that. Mm-hmm. And there would usually be a dinner break between 2 and 3. And when you did Hollywood Squares, you were in those little boxes, and they were quite hot. And I remember I was doing the Hollywood Squares right after the earthquake. I think it was in '89. And we were shooting, and there was an aftershock, and it was pretty scary.
Wow.
That with that whole big rig and shifting, and those big lights overhead shifting. And several people screamed out loud, and I'm sure they had to go back and tidy that up in order to play it.
Now, did you I couldn't remember if you said you did Match Game. You did Match Game?
Oh, many times.
Because Dick DiBartolo told us that they're trying to get together a bunch of the outtakes they had and put out on DVD. That would be great.
You mean like a blooper reel?
Yeah. Probably an X-rated blooper reel.
Yeah, it would make a good blooper reel, I'm sure. The sad thing about some of the game shows and also some of the Tonight shows and other shows like that where so many wonderful people were on them, you've probably heard this before, that the tapes were destroyed.
Yeah. That's so those the early days.
That is such a shame because they would be so treasured now. But, they were worth more for the whatever chemicals were in them, or minerals, or whatever's in tape.
Yeah.
Well, getting back to laughing, that, of course, you were famous for having President Nixon on. Now, back in those days, there was a lot of protest, about the war and everything. How did you guys, the cast, feel about him doing his cameo thing on there?
Never saw him.
Really? Yeah, because it was filmed.
They snuck him into the studio in the dead of night into a place that we never knew. He was funny. Yeah. Are you kidding? It was funny. Well, why not have somebody who's running for president on?
Right.
And as a matter of fact, I believe they attributed, and sadly, I guess, that the reason he won is that people thought, oh, hey, this is a fun guy. He's on Laugh-In. How bad could he be?
Yeah, you know, that's what they do is like, I forget what president it was, but we had Tommy James and the Shondells, and there was some president that wanted re-election, so he started touring around with them just to suddenly be cool.
Wasn't it Cleveland?
I think it was something. But anyway, like, that's what he had to do to suddenly be cool, is to be on Laughing, because if you were on Laughing, you were super cool all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah, and that's like a lot of people were on Laughing because their kids insist. A lot of stars because their kids insisted, get on Laughing and be cool.
Right.
Now, you mentioned the flying fickle finger of fate. I can't say that real fast because it's like a tongue twister. The greatest thing that ever became part of my...
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Yeah, you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine.
You must have switched phones on us.
I lost you for a while on this phone.
Oh, okay.
I have a different one now.
So I was talking about the flying fickle finger of fate. So you made me say it again. I had to like stumble through it the first time. And one of the original recipients was somebody that meant so much to me, and that's Tiny Tim.
Oh. Did he get the flying fickle finger of fate? I don't think so.
I thought he did. Well, at least Dick brought him on. It was in some kind of a talent segment that they called the flying fickle finger of fate, I believe.
No, there was a terrible talent section, bad talent section. But the flying fickle finger of fate was given to people who were screwing up. Like right now, we would give it to, name somebody who's terrible. Gaddafi. Right. The flying fickle finger of fate. Somebody who has screwed up royally, like Ma Bell would have gotten it when they were raising rates. The Department of Water and Power would be getting it. We could go on. No. It was somebody who was, screwing up.
Well, I'm glad they didn't.
Something.
I'm glad they didn't think Tiny Tim was screwing up because I thought he was great. I guess.
No. He. I'm quite sure he didn't get the flying fickle finger of fate. And as a matter of fact, if he was in the talent section, he would have won.
Absolutely.
Oh, Dick doesn't know what he's talking about. He was just talking. His mouth was moving. He said, I'll just say this. Nobody will know. Who's going to challenge me on it, right?
Right.
So from what I understand...
No, he didn't get the fickle finger.
Okay. As long as I don't have to say it again, I'm fine. That's a real tongue twister.
Okay.
So, but what was Tiny Tim like? Because everybody I ever talked to said that what you saw is what you got. I mean, he really was like...
Absolutely. What you didn't see is that he would take probably about 6 showers each day. You heard me. I don't think the hair was part of the shower. I don't think that was involved. But he would wear, as you know, kind of a white makeup. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he was very nice, very polite, and he would, I was Miss Jo Anne, and, you would be Miss Tiffany, and you'd probably be Miss Terry. I'm not sure.
Now, see, Jo Anne, if you'd have played your cards right, you could have been married to him on the Johnny Carson show.
Oh, lucky Joanne. Oh, yeah.
Well, Joanne, one of our listeners in the chat room, I guess, was a huge fan of Artie Johnson, and they wanted to know what your memories are of him and what kind of a person he was like to work with.
Well, I just saw Artie and his wife Gisela the other day, and, he married a very tall German woman. Isn't that fitting? It seems right and proper.
It does.
Yeah, I know. Gisela. She says, Artie, who's this? Who's that? And it's wonderful. Artie when he was in his character, And he, if he fell down as the little old man, he couldn't get up. He had to be lifted up. And he loved to fall down. He was always falling down in the group numbers when we'd all try and, sing and dance together. And he would always fall down, and we'd have to step over him or drag him around. He just didn't want to learn the choreography, I think. He would just fall down. Now he's doing great. They're having a wonderful time cruising all over this planet.
Oh, that's wonderful. Good. I was so sad to hear about Henry Gibson passing away.
Oh, sweet Henry. Sweet Henry was kind of like the den mother for everybody. If anybody wanted to know where another member of Rowan Martin's Laugh-In people were, they would contact Henry. Like he'd say, Henry, where's Judy? What you doing? And he would know. or wait a minute, how do I get in touch with Dave Madden? Oh, he would know. So I miss him. I would talk to him quite often, and I have not taken him off of my speed dial.
You know, that's kind of a superstition with me, too. I've had several celebrities that I love that became friends of mine that I have on my thing that I use to talk to people with on the show here. And I don't take the number out.
Yeah. No, you can't do that.
No,
you just don't. It's a way of honoring them and their spirit, and it's just something that shouldn't have to be done.
Right. Let me ask you a crazy question. Of course, everybody there was iconic. Definitely you were iconic. If you weren't Jo Anne and you came back kind of like reincarnated and they did Laugh-In again, who would you be? What other character would you be? What other actor would you have been?
Oh, I'm the most equipped to do me. I'm the best equipped to do Jo Anne. But I think both Dick and Dan, I admired them so. And they had such a wonderful lifestyle. They would, do the show, and then usually on the weekends they would fly out and do nightclub gigs.
Right.
And they were always laughing and having a good time, and were funny, and were sharp, and chic, and all those good things. They were like, as Henry was the mother hen, they were kind of like our mother and father. Even though they were both men, they were two daddies for all of us. And if we had any show business questions, like, when the show became such a big hit, that we got lots of offers and, lots of opportunities and things, we would go to them for advice on, should I do this thing or should, that kind of thing. And Sammy Davis Jr., was on the show
all the
times.
time, yeah.
And we would, I remember specifically, all of us, I'm calling us the kids, were in his dressing room and asking him, saying, it's difficult to just walk across the street. How do we deal with this? And he said, if you can't deal with it, don't go out of the house. That's it. And he's right. It's part of the package. You don't be rude to people who want to, talk to you because you've been in their living room. If you can't deal with it, it's part of the package.
Rowan and Martin was kind of like a better Martin and Lewis in the fact they actually loved each other.
Yes.
Yes. They really. Both their families were good friends, and I remember specifically being at a party at Dan Rowan's house with Dick Martin and his, kids there. And they were, you're right, they actually liked each other. I think Rowan and Martin actually liked each other, but probably working so close, I'm assuming, that, things happen. And things happen in an insurance office, for
absolutely.
Sake, right?
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
And probably in a couple of years, you two guys will be at each other's necks.
We are already at each other's necks at times. Jo Anne, Terry's actually my father, so
it makes it even worse. Never work with your family, ever.
No. Tell me this: is it? Are you really father and daughter?
Yes, we are.
See, my daughter's cool because...
Well, of course you don't get along.
No.
How silly. I would never even brought that up if I knew that. I thought I was being silly.
Well, I appreciate the compliment to think that you would think I could get somebody this young, but that's not the way it is, Jo Anne.
Well, I can't see through the phone, so I don't know. You have, your voice sounds regular age. You don't sound like an altacaca.
Well, Rip Taylor called me an old man, but that's okay.
Well, he doesn't know the word altacaca. He would have if he knew the word.
And by the way, I saw you not too long ago on TMZ, and you look great. What do you do?
What was I doing on TMZ?
I believe you were with Carol Channing. It was her birthday recently, wasn't it?
Yes, it was her 90th birthday.
Yeah, you were on TMZ.
And I'll tell you, this is trivia. When Hello, Dolly first opened on Broadway, I was Carol Channing's standby.
But Carol Channing never missed a show, did she?
No. And that was fine. But I'll tell you the difference between an understudy and a standby. Mm-hmm. It's about $500 a week.
Wow.
No, also, I was working at Second City in New York. At the same time, I was standing by for Carol Channing because I knew she was never going to be out. She told me. She said, no, I was getting 2 paychecks. I was thrilled. I had just done a show for David Merrick and Gower Champion, a tour of Carnival. And that show closed in Chicago, and they needed somebody to stand by, because it's an equity thing, for Carol. Her regular standby person, I guess, was in a show, and they just needed somebody to start. And as a matter of fact, I got 4 Carol to sign the original program when we were out of town in Washington, D.C. of Hello, Dolly, and the cover of Life magazine where she's hugging the cash register as Dolly Levi, to sign that, and we got those framed, and they're going to be at our silent auction April the 9th at the Universal Hilton.
Fantastic.
Luncheon. That's right, for Actors and Others for Animals. So we have some fine Carol Channing memorabilia, and I got the Smothers Brothers autographs, and they're framed from an event called the TV Hall of Fame installation. And Don Pardo, who recently passed away, signed something for us, and we have that framed, and that will all be at our silent auction.
So is this just going to be like in person where you can bid on this, or is it going to be online too?
No, just in person.
Okay.
I understand when you do it online, the price isn't very good.
Well, sometimes it's all according.
Yeah.
So I think the people who will be attending our event, these will be things that they will personally like, and they will want to support the cause and pay a decent price for it rather than try and get it as cheap as possible.
Well, it's so cool to be able to go to events like that and buy stuff from these legends, and Don Pardo's right up there because he was like one of the greatest. Next to Gary Owens, him and Gary Owens were 2 of the greatest announcing voices ever.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think probably Don Pardo's family might very well like that. And there's another one. Peter Marshall gave me a fabulous picture and CDs of his signed and everything, and it's framed and presented so beautifully in a shadow box that I'm sure Peter's family is going to probably bid on it and get it for their own home walls.
Fantastic.
So that's why we won't be putting them online. That it will be at our event when? April the 9th. Where? Universal Hilton. What time? Starts at 11, luncheon, and it's Actors and Others, spell out the .com.
Perfect. actorsandothers.com. And, of course, we want to remind our listeners as well that the California Artists Radio Theater is going to be performing Clarence tomorrow, the 20th, at the Beverly Garland Hotel. I believe you said it started at 1:30. And then just as we kind of wrap things up here, some of our listeners in the chat room were wanting to know, I know you might just be in rehearsals and stuff right now, but do you have any idea of dates or locations for the performances of the Full Monty that you're going to be in, as well as the Female Odd Couple?
Why, do they want to come rob my house?
No, they want to come see you.
No. Yes, July in Kansas City. I believe it's July, the top of July, like 1st or 2nd, whatever. And then the top of July, August, is The Odd Couple in New Jersey.
Perfect. I want to thank you so much for joining us on the air, Joanne, and best of luck on April 9th with the fundraiser, and best of luck tomorrow with the performance as well with Cart.
Thank you, Tiffany. And why don't you get your daddy to bring you to our event? Okay?
I will do my best.
Only
Saturday afternoon. Come on, Dad. Cough up the buck.
I know it wasn't your thing. It was more Goldie Hawn's thing. But I think I saw you and Laugh-In a couple of times wear that bikini with the words written on your stomach. If you dress like that...
Don't mention it. Do not bring this up. I hated that more than anything. That's when I started using the boa. To shake around. And no, Goldie loved it. She loved the line on the table and getting painted with the brushes. I didn't. I said, let me out of here. Let me out of here. And as a matter of fact, I still have that bathing suit.
Really?
It's kind of a psychedelic. It was a one piece. No. I did not do bikini stuff. No.
Well, I think the coolest thing was when I saw Goldie's lovely daughter on Saturday Night Live, and she did an homage to her mother and put on the bikini and had the words written on her. That was very cool.
Wasn't that wonderful?
Absolutely.
It was really, really wonderful. Well, another thing that Goldie does very well is she makes really good children, doesn't she?
She does.
Yes.
Yes, she does.
She really does. She does it great.
Well, I want to thank you for the entertainment that you gave us, because I'm telling you, man, that was such a classic show. And we're all about pop culture, and I can't think of any other show that defines pop culture like Laugh-In. Good God.
Well, Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, I'm very proud to have been a part of it. And sometimes people say, oh, I'll bet you're sick of hearing this. I say, never. I never am sick of hearing it. Quite often people say to me, I remember sitting on the couch with my parents and all of us laughing and enjoying it. And because things went by so quickly, if you didn't understand something, it was over in a second, right? And on to the next thing. So that's nice. I'm very proud to have been a part of that.
And I'm glad you continued on doing classy things like Broadway and musical and stuff, because you always could have been selling out and doing fried chicken commercials.
Oh, that's true. I would have done one. They didn't offer me a fried chicken commercial. They were afraid, and I don't blame them.
Okay,
Terry, I want you to bring your daughter. Tiffany, are you married?
No, I'm not.
Good. Terry, are you married?
No, I'm not. No. Not
okay,
me.
but if she has a boyfriend, you've got to bring both of them, Terry.
We're both quite single. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then it's a cheap afternoon for you. I think the tickets are only $175, and you get a great gourmet lunch.
There you go.
Gourmet.
One of the greatest
gourmet
places too.
vegetarian.
I love the Beverly.
Yeah.
Beverly Garland. Yeah.
No. You mean
I'm talking about for the other event. For this event, yeah.
But you get the lunch if you come to the Actors and Others for Animal event on April the 9th.
Well, they're both
Universal
nice places.
Hilton.
Universal Hilton's no shabby place either.
Yeah, no, it's not. And
No. Terry, why don't you find an older person to bring to the radio show? Tiffany could care less.
That's not true.
No, that's not true. She's
true.
totally into all this old stuff.
No, she's not. She's sick of it. No, bring one of her friends' mothers, okay?
I know who she'll bring, because they've been talking on the phone every day since he was on last week. Tiffany's going to bring Rip Taylor.
Oh, good. Tiffany, bring Rip. He's a good friend, a very good friend. And as a matter of fact, when we hang up the phone, I'll call him and invite him.
Okay. You do that. Tell him, we'll pick him up and we'll
Tiffany, you might get in for free, but Terry, you're not off the hook.
Yeah, the story of my life.
Now, where I really want you to bring your daughter is to the Actors and Others for Animals event, April 9th. Okay?
Yes. At the Universal.
That one's the big one. The other one's only $15. Come on, Jerry. It's your daughter.
And of course, again, everybody can find out information by going to actorsandothers.com. Thank you so much, Jo Anne.
Thank both of you. And Tiffany, were you named Tiffany because your dad's name starts with a T?
No, I don't know why he named me Tiffany.
There was a.
Terry, why was she named Tiffany?
I was married at the time, of course, like you usually do, and have children. But there was this really good-looking cashier at this local store I went to that was called Tiffany. So I named her. My marriage didn't last too long, for some reason.
Is that the truth?
Yeah.
Is that the truth?
Actually, I was going to name her.
Is that the truth?
Yeah, I was going to name her Natasha.
Oh, Natasha. Well, Tiffany, what name would you have preferred?
Probably Natasha.
Yeah, there, you see.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you guys get back to fighting? And we'll see you tomorrow at CART, California Artists Radio Theater.
We'll be
Okay,
there,
perfect.
okay.
Thank you,
All
Jo
right,
Anne.
guys.
Bye-bye.
I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
We did too. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.